Hello. I want to talk about patience and make sure that we're finding productive ways to deal with the situation that we find ourselves in as Americans. So there we go. All right, I've got my spot ready. Hold on just a second. Let me make sure my earphones are connected. I believe that Dharma is refuge and healing nectar for all of us. So there's no better time than now to relinquish the fires of our anger and allow Dharma to heal us, heal our hearts inside and out. So it's a very good time to read, meditate, and reflect on the Dharma, because if ever there was a time, it's now. So I want to start off. Last session was my first session on patience, and primarily talked about the first patience, and I will just paraphrase. It is being patient in the face of your attackers or people that do wrong to you. And so we spent a lot of time, about 30 minutes, going through Pabonka Rinpoche's Liberation in the Palm of Your Hand, and we reviewed some Dogo Khyentse Rinpoche quotes as well. I want to start out tonight with a quote from beloved Lama Garchen Rinpoche. And Garchen said, if you don't know Garchen, he's a wonderful and beautiful and precious Lama who has a center here in America. He's a Drikung Kagyu Lama, and he spent 20 years in a Chinese prison, and he's just a prolific teacher. And so anyway, I attended many of his teachings, and one quote from Garchen is that if we only practice love and protect it with patience, everything else will be accomplished. Now, the Buddhist definition of love is to wish for others to have happiness. And so he's saying that if we only practice love, which is the wish for others to be happy, so if we only practice love and protect it with patience, everything else will be accomplished. This is very critical. We have to protect our love with patience. Shantideva talks about how if we practice generosity and then one single instance of anger can destroy eons worth of positive karma accumulated from participating in generosity. So it's really critical that when we do merit-based actions such as love, compassion, generosity, those types of things, we have to seal them or protect them with patience. Because if we don't protect them with patience, then in the moment of somebody giving us difficulty, we could get angry, and that could destroy eons worth of merit. The next quote from Garchen is, what will protect you until enlightenment is your own love and compassion. So if you never separate from that, it will melt self-grasping. The cause for unhappiness is self-grasping, and if you never separate from love and compassion, the ice block will melt. He's talking about the ice block of self-grasping. For those with deep love and compassion, it will melt. In brief, we need to never forsake love and compassion, and then the ice block will become ocean water. The Buddha said, I will show you the path, but you have to work. This means you must protect love and compassion. So if you understand that love and compassion will protect you, then you will always keep love and compassion in your heart. Always. It's something you can decide on your own. It is the ultimate refuge. Hello, Kempo. Nice to see you. It's been a long time. What I really appreciate about Garchen stating that love and compassion will protect us is the idea of love and compassion as refuge and protection. To me, is very, very powerful. He's telling us that self-grasping is the opposite of love and compassion, right? So on one hand, you have self-grasping, which is believing there's an inherently existing self, a independently existing self, a self that exists from its own side, right? So it's been in our minds since beginningless time. And what Garchen's saying is that love and compassion will melt the ice block of self-grasping. So it's really quite precious because I've heard a lot of masters share love and compassion teachings because, of course, compassion is one of the wings of the Mahayana vehicle. But I've never heard a master say love and compassion will protect you until you reach enlightenment. And then the other thing that he always says is that if you have love, then you have to protect it with patience. I've also never really heard a master say that. And so there are just some very prolific, simple ways to think about this is if we have love and compassion, it will protect us all the way up until enlightenment. But the key is we have to protect that love and compassion with patience. Because if you have love and compassion, I remember several years ago, I went on a trip to Chicago. And when I was coming back from Chicago, the day I was coming back home, in the morning I did Tonglen, giving and taking, which is a profound love and compassion meditation. Tong means giving, Len means taking, or it could be vice versa because I'm not good with my Tibetan. But anyway, I was doing giving and taking, which is you visualize yourself breathing out white light, giving love in the form of your body, wealth, and your roots of virtue to all sentient beings. And then on the in-breath, you breathe in all of their suffering and you actually take it into your heart. So that morning, I was doing love and compassion meditation, and I was moved to tears about the suffering of all sentient beings, which is not uncommon. When I meditate that way, I often have tears and I cry. But what's interesting is 3 hours later, I'm in the car driving. So that morning, I'm meditating on compassion and I have tears coming down my face and my heart's wide open. And then 3 hours later, I'm driving home. And this was 4 years ago or 5 years ago. I'm driving home 3 hours later, and this guy is driving like a jerk and he's being kind of aggressive. And I lost my composure. I got very angry, and I really wanted to physically attack this guy. I was so upset. My heart was beating very fast. And before I found the Dharma, I didn't, my mind wasn't calm. So when I would get mad, it didn't seem like it was a big deal. Nowadays, if I get mad, it's very, very noticeable because it doesn't happen too often. But when I get mad, it's so pronounced because the contrast between my normally daily kind of um, the way that I typically feel on a day-to-day basis, and then if I do get angry, it's so different. I can see how destructive anger is. I think anger. My teacher Geshe Jinpa Sonam always talks about how anger is very, very bad for the heart. It causes heart attacks, strokes, or actually maybe just heart attacks. I think the stroke is when the energy goes down. But the point is, this has been proven by physicians. They in the 1960s or 1970s, they discovered that people that were very aggressive, which they later called type A personalities, those people had a substantially higher risk of having a heart attack and dying of heart disease. And so we know anger is very bad for the body and it's bad for other people. It's almost like its own epidemic or pandemic. Recently, we've seen on airplanes, because people had to wear masks, a lot of the passengers on airplanes in America were punching the airline workers, the flight attendants, mostly the women that take care of you and serve you when you're on a plane. These people were punching them in the face and knocking teeth out and doing all sorts of horrible things. And so when we think about anger, it's so destructive. So I really love what Garchen Rinpoche says, because he's telling us that love and compassion will protect us, and it's our own refuge. It's a protection. So on one hand, he's telling us that love and compassion will protect us, and then on the other, telling love and compassion will protect us all the way up until enlightenment. But it's very important that we protect it with patience, right? So I thought to share. The next thing I'd like to share is a quote from um, Togme Zangpo, the author of the 37 Practices of Bodhisattvas. He says, "For a bodhisattva who desires the joys of virtue, all who harm him are like a precious treasure. Therefore, to cultivate patience towards all without resentment is the practice of a bodhisattva." I can tell you, for me, this is aspirational. I have not ascended to a spiritual level to the degree that I'm looking at difficult people as a precious treasure. But I have so much admiration and respect for Tibetan Buddhism, because they teach us how to take everything in our life and put it on the spiritual path and make it Dharma. I mean, it's just so intelligent and so skillful. These Tibetan lamas and geshes and kempos and teachers are taking the difficulty of samsara, the difficulty of our lives, and they're saying, here's a skillful way to use all of these difficulties to actually create merit and to purify karma. So Togme Zangpo said that. I'll read it one more time. "For a bodhisattva who desires the joys of virtue, all who harm him are like a precious treasure. Therefore, to cultivate patience towards all without resentment is the practice of a bodhisattva." Obviously, when he says him, it applies to him or her. It's not gender specific. Men and women are bodhisattvas. Then Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche talks about, he provides some commentary on Togme Zangpo's words. And Dilgo goes into an analysis of three kinds of patience, and he explains it a little bit differently than Pabonka Rinpoche does. So I'm going to read Dilgo's three types of patience. One is to bear without anger whatever harm people may do you. This is very similar to Pabonka Rinpoche's. The next one is different. It's to endure without sadness whatever hardships you may experience for the sake of the Dharma. Pabonka's was more like to bear with whatever hardships you experience. I don't think he had the word Dharma in there. But Dilgo says to endure without sadness whatever hardships you may experience for the sake of the Dharma. And then the third is to face without fear the profound meaning of the Dharma and the boundless qualities of the three jewels. So those are the three types of patience according to Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche. So that first one, to bear without anger whatever harm people may do you. We really covered this pretty extensively during the first live session that I did, but I'd like to go through. I think that patience is so important, especially in this world right now with so many samsaric difficulties, that I really want to spend many sessions analyzing patience, thinking about it. The more we think about patience, the more we hear it coming into our mind and our heart, the more calm we'll be, and the more we will understand patience is the power that will preserve and protect our love. If we have love and compassion, that's a great start, but we have to have patience to protect it. And of course, I believe that's why it's one of the six perfections, the six paramitas. So Dilgo says, when you feel you are being harmed by someone, remember that the harm that person may be inflicting on you or someone dear to you is the direct result of you yourself having harmed others in the past. This is about karma, cause and effect. The Tibetan teachers tell us that every negative and unhappy experience that we experience, every negative and sad emotion, every bit of anger, attachment, delusion, jealousy, pride, these are direct results of karma. So there is nothing that arises that is not a result of a previous cause. So when we experience somebody harming us, we can we can know definitively it's a karmic result of something we've done in the past. So we created the causes in a previous life, or it could have been during this life. We've already created the causes for this karma to arise. So that's one thing to think about when we're suffering. Another thing is reflect that this person is so overpowered by delusion that he or she is as if possessed and cannot resist harming you. This is a lot like what I talked about during the first session. The person that's very, very angry, he or she is as if possessed by some kind of demon. Their mind's not clear. They can't lie. Being angry makes us very, very stupid. We can't think clearly. Our intellect and our intelligence gets dramatically reduced, and it's almost as though you're working with 1% of your brain. So it is important when somebody's mad to remember that they're not themselves. Okay. Another quote from Dilgo is that as a result of this harm that the person's doing, the angry person, as a result of this harm, he or she will have to suffer in samsara's lower realms in a future life. When you think how terrible that will be, you will feel only sadness and pity rather than anger. I really like this because when we have love and compassion, it's easy to have love and compassion for victims. Somebody who's been hurt, somebody who is a victim of a crime, it's very easy to have love and compassion for them. But usually, when we find out that there was a person that did the crime, somebody that shot up a school or shot up a public area, um, we usually hate that person. It's very easy to be angry and hate that person and want that person to die. But we should really understand that the people that are doing these horrible things are creating a great deal of karma themselves, and they are going to have to experience the effects of the karma that they're creating. Every thought, speech, and action that we take plants a seed that becomes the cause for a future effect. So it's really important to try to remember that somebody who's angry and they're doing really negative and harsh things, they're creating their own future causes of suffering. And so if we can try to have compassion for them, I think that's very beneficial. The next thing Dilgo says is that if you can patiently accept all of this harm, many of your own past negative actions will be purified and you will accumulate both merit and wisdom. Indeed, this person who appears to be harming you is therefore doing you a great kindness and is a true spiritual friend. As an expression of your gratitude, dedicate whatever merit you have accumulated to him or her. I really appreciate this particular point because, as I mentioned a moment ago, whatever is arising for us is an effect of a previous cause, right? So there is no experience that we live through that is not karma. Everything we see, everything we experience, the karmic seeds have already been planted, and this is the fruition of that karma. So here, what Dilgo's saying is that if you patiently accept all this harm, many of your own past negative actions will be purified. So on one hand, when we have patience, we're purifying past karma that's coming up. So that karma is being purified, and we're simultaneously cultivating merit. So we're reducing our old bad karma, we're purifying that, letting that burn away. and we're cultivating and planting positive white karma seeds. And so that's it. So patience is a way to both cultivate merit and wisdom and purify past negative karma. That's very, very powerful. Once you believe in cause and effect and you think about patience, it doesn't take long to see how valuable and how powerful patience is and how it can protect us and protect others, right? Patience can really protect us. Seeing all such situations in this way, train yourself not to get upset when someone harms you, not to seek revenge, and never to bear the slightest grudge. If you can patiently accept all this harm, many of your own past negative actions will be purified, and you will accumulate both merit and wisdom. Indeed, this person who appears to be harming you is therefore doing you a great kindness and is a true spiritual friend. An expression of your gratitude, dedicate whatever merit you have accumulated to him or her. Seeing all such situations in this way, train yourself not to get upset when someone harms you, not to seek revenge, and never to bear the slightest grudge. I think I might have read that twice, but that's good because it's a very powerful quote. And there's one other quote that I want to share. Dalai Lama wrote um, a very compelling commentary on Shantideva's patience chapter. I think it's chapter 7 in Shantideva's book, his book, the Way of the Bodhisattva. So Dalai Lama wrote a book commenting and explaining his patience chapter, and I just want to read a passage from the Dalai Lama. Now, in this case, the Dalai Lama is actually quoting Chandakirti, who's a great master who clarified a lot of Prasangika Madhyamaka philosophy. So here's what the Dalai Lama says. In addition, as the entry into the middle way points out, not only does the generation of hateful thoughts lead to undesirable forms of existence in future lives, but also at the moment that strong feelings of anger arise, no matter how hard one tries to adopt a dignified, oh, you know what? I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. Hold on, let me find it. Here it is. I read the wrong quote. Here's the quote I was looking for. Chandakirti states in Entry into the Middle Way that there might be some justification for responding to force with force if revenge would help one in any way, or prevent or reduce the harm which has already been inflicted. But that is not the case, because if the harm, the physical injury or whatever, has been inflicted, it has already taken place. So taking revenge will not in any way reduce or prevent that harm or injury because it has already happened. On the contrary, if one reacts to a situation in a negative way instead of in a tolerant way, not only is there no immediate benefit, but also a negative attitude and feeling is created, which is the seed of one's future downfall. From the Buddhist point of view, the consequence of taking revenge has to be faced by the individual alone in his or her future life. So not only is there no immediate benefit, it is harmful in the long run to the individual. So again, I have deep appreciation and gratitude for how beautiful Tibetan Buddhism is. I'm so thankful and joyful that I've found this. So Chandakirti is stating that when somebody does something that harms us, whether it's verbal or physical, they do something that harms us and we get angry, right? Chandakirti is saying if us retaliating or seeking revenge could actually fix the situation, then it might be beneficial and it might make sense to do that. But in the case of responding to somebody's negative activity by us taking revenge, not only does it not fix the harm that they created, By the time they've created the harm, it's done. It's over. And so if we respond with anger, we're responding to something that anger is not going to fix. It's impossible. You cannot go back in time. You can't go back to 1 hour before and fix what that person did, right? So Chandakirti is stating that not only is it not beneficial to respond with anger and revenge because the bad deed is already done to you, right? So you just going and getting mad at the person that did this to us is not going to help anything. But more importantly, by us going and responding negatively to that person, we are also producing our own negative karma. So we're going to harm that person, okay? And we're going to harm ourselves because we're planting negative seeds. And anger, according to Buddhism, anger is a direct cause for being born in hell realms. And that's not going to benefit anybody to be ripening the seeds of anger that are going to deliver us into a birth and a hell realm. So it's really, again, the reason I have so much gratitude for Dalai Lama and Chandakirti and all of the lamas and the kempos and the gurus is because they're teaching us the wisdom and compassion and love and kindness and patience that we need to live a happy life right now, but also, of course, to have beneficial rebirths in the future and then become Buddhas. So I don't know how long I've been talking, but it feels like a long time. So I think I'm going to stop here. We've covered some really good topics. I'm going to dedicate the merit as a result of this practice and this Dharma teaching and reading, reflecting, meditating together. As a result of this, may all sentient beings receive the merit, and we dedicate the merit to all of them. As a result of them receiving the merit, may they all become Buddhas in one lifetime, and may all of their suffering be completely eradicated. Okay? All right, I'm done. Thank you all. Sending my love. Have a nice day. Have a nice evening. Take care, guys. Bye bye. Thank you. Bye bye, Dharma friends.